And we're back with a question and answer session from Buster with Buster and Red J for our episode on Star Citizen's customization and stuff like that. It's kind of a follow-up for the one we did earlier this year. So if you haven't seen that link will be right above Buster's head, where you can click that and watch that first. These are new experiments, I will say, because I typically have just been kind of leaving them up as a VOD and letting people watch the VOD afterwards. But people have been asking me for separate videos just so they could just easily find them and have them pop up in their feed and such. So I tried it last time and it got a lot of attention. A lot of people were like, wait, what's going on? What's this? So I'm going to continue to do this until it doesn't work anymore, or it does. I don't know. So make sure you check us out live at twitch.tv/TheAstroPub, youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive on Saturdays, starting around 5 p.m. Eastern, which is about 1 p.m. Pacific. So we're talking about Star Citizen. I bring people from all over the Star Citizen community to talk about the game in various different aspects. This is a question and answer session where we're answering questions directly from the chat. I have a big list up here, 6 questions so far, and feel free to continue to ask them as well as we go forward. First question is from Gin and Tonic, who asks, speaking of being able to load characters from a file now, which is the greatest thing since Betty White? Or sorry, let me do it properly. Speaking of being able to load characters from a file now, which is the greatest thing since Betty White, has anyone seen an organization of clones? People who use the exact same skin.
I'm sure there's some people who have been doing it, but I have not personally. I've seen people using like the default face, especially the feminine default.
The feminine default? How about you, Jay?
I've seen organizations that'll match clothing, like Vanguard, for example, is a big famous one. They're a great group of folks. They do their own thing. I'm not going to plug them, but I am going to say that they do all wear the same outfits on like the different parts, and it has a function to it. So whatever part of the organization they're from, the clothes are what matches. I know for a fact they don't like insist on everybody's got to use the same character.
Same character. We are all Gary. We all must hail Gary.
Gary.
Yeah, Gary. You don't get the joke yet, Buster, because you should be playing Fallout 3. Is it Fallout 3 or is it New Vegas? I think it's Fallout 3. Yes.
Yeah, I just don't do well with post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic. Okay.
It makes me sad.
It's more of a dark comedy, but you know.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll just watch it on YouTube. I'll just watch the major gameplay points on YouTube or something and get the experience.
Next question comes from Fastcart, who asks, how does the panel think a crazy gazer? He writes out crazy grazer steak would taste, or would the panel fear the possibility of getting mad grazer disease? This is where I'm gonna hit the lore. You do realize that if you've been to a Whammers, you've had a grazer burger, right?
Yeah, they're like the primary source of beef, essentially.
Yeah, so
because they yield more than like a cattle would, and they're probably like a better thing to like. What's the word? It's more efficient, I imagine, to raise quasi grazers than cattle.
Yeah, because they can also give you eggs, which apparently people are freaked out about, which I think is great.
People get weird about eggs, man.
Especially when they're clutches of eggs coming out of like a fleshy sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get mine from farms.
Yeah, it comes out of a chicken's cloaca.
I have to clean them.
Yeah. Yeah, they still have like gunk on them because.
Yeah.
Red J, what do you think? Would you enjoy grazer meat?
Whammers is one of my favorite places to hit up. I really like the feel and the aesthetic of the place, and it's fun. It's like I love that kind of stuff. Anyway, yes. So I'd be more concerned about vegetarian options at a place like Whammers, where that came from.
Probably some genetic engineered creature that is not technically alive, that is technically a plant.
Oh God.
There's some messed up parts about Star Citizen.
It's
If
like
you
a
think
whole
about them
like
too hard.
civilization of very advanced plant people that cannot communicate to anybody else.
Yes.
Been eating them for
But
years.
just sentient
No.
mushrooms that don't try to kill you.
There you go.
Pacifist orcs. All right. Next question comes from Gin and Tonic, who asks, following up on Fastcar's question, how about Kazi omelets?
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Like, good job, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how, okay, first I need to know like how, like what is it the most like compared to Earth? Like, is it more like I doubt it's like a chicken egg, it's too big.
Yeah.
But if it would like had kind of the same style of a chicken egg with flavor, or does it have more of like a flavor and the texture of like a duck egg, or even an emu egg or whatever, an ostrich egg? You know, like what kind of egg is it like? Because that's gonna inform the flavors, right? Like what are we gonna put on this omelet? That's important questions.
These are important questions.
But yes, 100% yes, would do. I mean, you probably need like one egg to make a whole French omelet. You'd be good.
Yeah.
Whereas you need like 3 or 4 chicken eggs,
Yeah.
depending on the appetite of the
I-
person having it.
I don't know if I could finish a single Kazi egg. That seems like that would be a lot of food.
Oh, I could. I eats. But yeah, no, I could. I mean, it's protein.
Jock Cop asks the question, one important element of customization is ship naming. Is there any feature you would like CIG to add when it comes online? Personally, I'd love custom fonts to give a personal touch. So what would you like to add to like ship naming there, Red J?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So
That's a good
you hit
question.
the font, the size of the name would be nice, although within reason, so it doesn't look ridiculous. I think of War Thunder, for example, where people used to put the icons and they made it in like a camouflage skin, just a simple decal or a name, word put on there. None of that. But I do see the value. The one thing I want to mention is just a cautionary note is that there is usually a light pointed at the words. So if you make it too big or the font changes the scaling too much, you might have part of it not illuminated by the light.
Mm.
Just a thought in the back of my head. But sorry, to answer the question directly, I would like it so when you lock up the ship, it prominently shows the name of the ship.
Like the name, the back name on the of like ship boats, where like they have like this big prominent on the back end of every like even like tiny little fishing boats have these big plates. I don't know what they're called. They're placards or okay. There's a name for it. There's a nautical name for it, which I'm sure sailors will tell me what it is, but there's a term for it.
Get in the chat, Seaman. Sorry.
Transom. Is that what they're called? Transom?
Guys at sea.
Sounds right.
Sailors.
Buster, what would you like to see in addition to like as part of custom ship names?
You know, the fonts I would agree with only if it's like within reason, because the thing is like some of those brands have their own kind of font set, and so to change the font set against like the brand's marking might look really weird. So that's my only like critique of that. But it would be cool if you could change the whole thing for the whole. But again, it's kind of like with the brand a little bit, if that makes sense. Font typography is like a big deal. But or have a good maybe preset one. Like you'd have to pick a few. I would hate to see Comic Sans in the verse, but
yeah.
But like at the same time, with that set aside, because I think that's interesting. I would think lighting, like better lighting on the names, so they're more like you know, one of the greatest things about the USS Enterprise, right? Like one of the most iconic science fiction ships of all time, is how you can see the name of it very well, and in a great font, by the way, from almost any angle you're seeing it from. Almost. Not always. Like if you're having that kind of 3/4 front on angle, it's not as much. But you know the saucer. Like it's so noted. So like, but it's also well lit. Like if you you watch the way they like render the Enterprise, it often has very good lights on the hull. So maybe better lighting on the hulls for the names that highlight the names better, and or some like form of like name that has like an electric element. So maybe it glows a little bit, like it's almost its own source of light.
That'd be neat.
You know,
Hmm.
that would be cool. And I could see like, but I think between the two, you should be able to decide, right?
Mhm.
I think that's like a style choice that would be interesting to see players like, oh, are you the kind of guy who wants the light shining on the name, or are you the kind of gal who wants the name lit up?
Mhm.
Right? Like, what do you want? So that would be cool. Or the ability to change the colors of any lettering on the ship, like along with like a paint. Like that kind of goes back to paint. Like if I have like a white Carrack, maybe I want the lettering to be like, like I have some red details. I want it to be red, or I want it to be like an in between color, like a gray or something, to set itself apart from the rest of the colors. That kind of stuff. So yeah, and that's just design aesthetic, but that's how I feel about it.
I think what I'd like to see is for you to be able to move it around with lighting. So like wherever you put your name, there's going to be a light source there that will like illuminate your name, the name of the ship. So like give
Yeah.
you a space, like a region of your ship where you can put the name, but and then I do like the idea of having different styles of lighting. So either like different colors or different like the thing itself lights up. And it reminds me of the digital clothing that they have, where like they have the things that are like scrolling across
Yeah,
the
why wouldn't that
clothing.
be something you could
That'd
do?
be
I mean, what is it? Some of the ships that we've seen like in artwork, like they have like these, or in videos, like it's like what is it? The pirate ship, the Cutlass,
yeah,
with the Cutlass like with like those lights on them in a
yeah,
video, like strung up around on them,
yeah.
like why isn't that feasible on a ship's name or something similar?
Yeah, or like just like a digital display rather than being a name that's being like just paint. It's a digital display that plays that kind of like LED glows everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Like there's different styles. I think they could go crazy
Yeah.
with that. So
Like it'd be nice to have a little ship shop in the game, or in the website or the game, where you can kind of figure that kind of stuff out.
Lowe's Customs is already in Orison. I mean,
Yeah.
Cousin Crow from Lowe.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect place to start that type of
Yeah.
process.
adding on to that, this is a different question. I think this one comes to you because I know you're a big fan of the Heartseeker there, Buster.
Yes.
Question comes
Big
from
fan.
the Glass Sword, who asks, I noticed the nose art on the Super Hornet Mark I Heartseeker was removed. I speculate it's a separate element. Do you think that we'll see a custom
What?
coming
It's
soon?
the Heartseeker's nose art is gone?
Yeah, apparently.
It's glitched. Yeah.
Oh, it's a glitch. Okay, that's okay.
I think it's because they had to keep put it up to the same
It's old.
standard. Yeah.
It's old. It's like it's the only like nose art in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. I love that ship. I want that back. Obviously, I want that to be fixed. I wouldn't mind if they redid the art a little bit. I actually have always said that I would love for the Heartseeker, for everybody who owns a Heartseeker, to have the option of 2 paints, and that just bespoke with it, whether it's like a feminine or a masculine
Style.
style.
Yeah.
Like it's it's either a guy or a gal, right? Like sitting there and doing the little nose art pose. Because I would love to have a dude on my cockpit.
I would love to see them do the Warhammer style, or War Thunder style, where they have different decals you can put on the ship wherever you want to put them.
I think it should be Jared. I think they should make it Jared, like subtly.
Jared would do it. Jared would do it. Jared would do it in 5 seconds.
I would come in and I would totally like pick the pose and everything. I'd be like, I am the expert. I am like the definitive expert on how Jared must look good on a pinup art.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm
just run it past Buster.
No. Yeah, no, I would love for the Heartseeker to actually have alternate paints for the even like alternate, like you could have different you could have like an array of like 6 or 7 different people to choose, but it would be nice to have some alternates for that, especially as things are moving forward and maybe it's having that glitch. Maybe that art needs to be retooled for it. So why not add some extra paints to it? Yeah. But it's only for the Heartseeker, because that's the unique thing about the Heartseeker is that I would love that.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to have pinup art or decals because, like, I'm a big fan of the A10 nose art where it's the shark mouth with the eyes right underneath the gun. And I think there's something similar to that with the Flying Tigers. Had some pretty famous like paint schemes with them. So like,
but the Heartseeker should always stay in the theme of a pinup.
Of a pinup, yeah, for sure.
That's what makes it so fun and
that's
unique.
I think adding Heartseeker, yeah.
I think adding like teeth or anything to it would, like, I don't know, it would ruin the ship for me.
Yeah, or maybe
because it's about hearts. It's about seeking hearts. It's about being sweet.
Maybe you could easily do is say if you bought a Heartseeker, you get those decals for free as part of that part of that deal of having that, or only you can get those decals from that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that would be cool.
What do you think, Red Jay? What do you think about like pinup art in general, or just like ship art?
I think ship art's really beautiful, and it has a function. You know, there's in both civilian and combat type aircraft, there was a famous what they call the war paint, so to speak. I think that's one of the terms they throw around. But basically, it's a friend or foe identifier at range. So they'll put a specific stripe on every single tail of every single craft. Why would they not do that in space? That makes perfect sense to me. Yes, are you going to use your radar 99% of the time? But once in a while, when you get in a gun range and you're just laying into something, it might be a good idea to have one extra way to tell it's a friendly, not an enemy or something.
Or if you're piling into a big dogfight and there's some sort of interference and you don't see anything, you still need to have some sort of Mark 1 eyeball indication. So,
yeah, I love the Heartseeker as well. I've done it. I even did a music video, kind of sort of with Battlestar Galactica music, covering the Heartseeker, going on getting ready for its mission. I love the Heartseeker. I think it should stay firmly where it is and fix it. And I agree with Buster on that. I do agree with you, Paul, on the decals in general. More ships should be able to enjoy having art, and it has, like I said, it has that underlying function of people know it's you. So that's something awesome. Both sides of that coin.
Yeah, because I'd love to have like a ship with nose art and a name on it, like a fighter with a name on it. That would be so cool. Like the Heartseeker, but it's like, who's my Heartseeker?
Oh yeah, put the name inside the heart or whatever.
Yeah.
Org logos too. Yeah. I mean, expanding this slightly, org logos, like, so if you have ships that are going to be, so to speak, quote, owned, end quote, by the org, and they kind of hand them out as like, prospectors to go use to go mine, and then you got to bring it back. Yeah. Being able to just look across the fleet and be like, hey, that's one of ours. Oh, we got to bring that back to the corp hangar, or the org hangar, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Next question. From Trouble Magnet, who asks, we have a limited web ship customizer for the 300 series. Do you think they'll ever expand that to other ships or scrap it to make something new? If something new, what do you think?
Scrap it, make something that works in game.
Okay, it works both in the website and game.
Yeah, because I mean, personally, like especially when we're talking about like maybe placing like logos or any specific art, like I would want to be able to like see in game how it looks before I decide that that's it. Because what if I like slightly misplace, like I place it one way on the website, but then I get in game and I'm like, it's not quite where I wanted it. Like I needed it over 2 more inches, that kind of thing. Because some people can be very specific, and I might be one of them occasionally. Or having like obviously like sizes already like preset where it's like, okay, well you can only have it this size, and here's like the 6 positions it can be in. And whether it's it's only on one side or it's like on the other side of the ship too, like it's symmetrical, So,
how about you, Reggie? Do you think we should keep that the system that they prototyped with the 300, or should they change it?
I would keep it, but bring it into game as well. And I own a 325A and a 350R that are both customized very heavily. I love them. I used to have a 315P as well, but I ended up CCUing it, and that they do have that integrated into that, so it's like the cost.
I know. I love. Do you have the pressure cooker?
Yeah, I do. On the 325A, the 350R can't fit that stuff, but the 325A does have the food processor and the coffee maker and stuff. I love that kind of stuff. And honestly, if they had a 425A, a 415P, whatever, I would buy those as well, and I would customize the heck out of them. I think in game though, when that'll come in, as I strongly suspect when Terra finally comes in, at some point in the future, there'll be a big old Origin showroom, and that's where you would probably see most of that.
New Terra is going to be the best.
New Austin, baby.
Or New Austin, yeah. Terra is going to be the best.
Yeah. For those who don't know, the headquarters of Origin is on Terra, and specifically in New Austin, where to the point where New Austin is called Origin Town because it's like they're the major manufacturer there. And for those of you who are Anvil fans, it's Nova Kiev, which is where the headquarters of Anvil. I have a sneaking suspicion that CIG is prioritizing planets after Nyx, prioritizing systems that have manufacturers in them. Because like Magnus is where Drake is headquartered. I think Ellis has got a couple of manufacturers there. Castra has a couple of manufacturers, including Kruger. And then Terra has a bunch of them as well, including Anvil and Origin. And then Bremen is where Consolidated Outland is, and Bremen is within jump range too. So it's like all of these planets, these systems are like, I wouldn't be surprised if CIG is like, let's make those systems because we can put our ship manufacturers there. We can get more advertising that way, where people will want to show up to these places because it's like, oh, I want to go to Drake's HQ. So, hey, Paul, can you tell me what system Crusader is in? I really love those, and I want to visit the showcase. I could, but if you don't know by now, it's you've got a problem. It's literally Orison, by the way. I don't know for anybody who may have no idea what it is. It's Orison in Crusader. That's why it's called Crusader.
In Stanton,
the system you're in. I was going to get my answer as well. Yeah, I think it's scrap and do it completely from the beginning. It's got to work from the website, but it's work from the game. The game is more important than the website, and it always felt like similar to the naming, like ship naming that they have. It was always like we have enough time, now we'll do this, and it didn't work, so they're just like, and they moved on to do something else. So
it came back.
Yeah, and they haven't come back yet, is all it is. Trouble Magnet asks, should some ship customization options be reputation gated, like specific decals or colors? 100%.
Yes. 100%. Because that makes it more fun for the player, I think. People get to go, oh, I did this, and like, where'd you get that? Oh, well, I did this like high level mission that you've got to like work at for like a couple weeks before you even get that mission. Makes it more fun.
Oh, I see what Anansi was trying to do. He was trying to say, "Come, visit Orison, the city in the clouds." I hate that commercial. So hard.
City in the clouds.
Please, more commercials, CIG.
I'll make a new song.
I am not the person who's like, I love commercials, but if you're going to play commercials, please play more than one CIG. Reggie, what do you think? Reputation gated?
I could definitely see reputation gates being a major factor in every single part of the game, and this is no exception.
Huh. Yeah, I think it's a simple answer for me too. Especially for like factions, like faction logos, an easy kind of thing. Oh, they already have the faction logo somewhere in a PNG file or vector file somewhere that they use for all of their stuff. Just like slap that baby on a ship, you're done. It's not that simple, but it's still a lot easier for them to add those for reputation gates.
Right.
All right. Next question comes from Del Ener, who asks, why doesn't CIG release the old paints, like the paints from years ago, to in-game stores? Do we think that they still make money off of those very basic paints, or have they just forgotten to add those in game stores? Some were added in the initial release. I can tell you my theory behind it, but I don't think any of us really knows. My theory is that CIG didn't want to reintroduce the paints until they had a firm idea of how they were going to do in-game customization. And since they haven't really had a chance to do in-game customization, it's just they just haven't bothered to go back to it. I think they just forgot. They just forgore. So, Reggie, what do you think? Why do you think CIG hasn't released the old paints to find in-game?
I think it's that deal. They haven't gotten back to it yet. Just a tiny little bit of trivia. My first pledge was actually the we got your
Your
back
back skin.
skin.
Nice.
Yeah, the plated skin thing, and that made me an OG backer, and that kept me here. I was like, I was broke. That's all I could afford at that moment, and they still like brought me into the fold, and they gave me a lot of the rewards for OG backing, and I was like, you know what, you guys are all right, and that was that was so it's sentimental to me. The old paints. That's the only reason I brought that up is because the ancient paints are. I do want to see them, and they mean a lot to me.
How about you, Buster?
I always think it like I mean, how many of those ships have they reworked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just not having maybe the time or whatever yet to like remake that, like redo them with reworks and stuff. Who knows? I don't know. I'm no game dev. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not that I don't care. It's just that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Stuff happens, y'all.
Yeah, we don't know. It could be that those paints just don't work with the new system they developed because they did develop a
Yeah.
new system between them.
That's what I'm saying.
doing
That's kind of what I'm
things.
trying to hit at. Like something things, you know.
Yeah.
Things
Things happen.
happen.
Ina Gecko asks, CIG has stated that the fire hazard will not initially cause players to catch fire, only damage them. Do you think that players will eventually catch fire, and will that cause burns on skin and burn off hair? Sorry for being a little dark.
Why? Yeah, I was about to say, like, why are you so like specific here?
I
Like,
don't.
like, are you a fan of the Salem witch trials? Like, what's going on? No, maybe. I mean, I don't know. That would. I mean,
I don't think so.
how much do you like make like lasting alter? Like, how deep do you go into that game? That side of the game. Like, are you gonna make like burn scars from being in fire for more than like 5 minutes, and the severity of the scars only increases the longer you go after the 5 minute? Like what's that's a lot of metrics to consider, and that's a lot. I mean, it's not valid. It's it's an interesting concept and thought, but I
agree. I think it really depends on how deep CIG wants to go. Because like I imagine that they want to do scars and stuff like that in the future for with the character sort of dying and coming back to life so many times. But I don't imagine they want to have like burns be physically represented on your skin if you get burned.
Maybe they would have something, but like it would be like kind of general. It'd be like, oh well,
damaged skin kind of thing, you know, less
scarring
specific.
Scarring tech can get really, really detailed,
you
know, or not. How much do we want?
How much information are they willing to put into it? You know.
Yeah.
How about you, Jay?
So there's a pretty interesting thing going to happen, not just with engineering with the fire, but there's a different kind of thermal energy that's extreme that's going to happen with pyro. So pyro has exploding, collapsing, horrible star that tries to murder you all the time, and people are going to be shocked. There's a new game mechanic that weren't in the tech preview. Basically, this star goes into a severe solar flare, where if you're not in a ship or you're not in like a covered building,
you're messed up.
You fry. So you may find out sooner than later about how much of that effect is. And I am very curious if CIG is just going to outright kill somebody if they're out in that, or is it going to say, okay, well, you're incapacitated, and then you have to treat those injuries. So I don't have anything to weigh in on the specific topic, but the actual way it's going to happen is going to be, we're going to all get to find out very soon.
Yeah, or do you like run across, like, or you try to get in your little vehicle or whatever small thing you got and like get on the other side of a planet or moon or whatever nearby to like kind of hide from it on the dark side. Like, that's cool. That's fun.
Yeah. And I also didn't think about it that like someone's bringing up the fire rats. The fire rats literally have scarification in their rituals. So like, and they do scarification by intentionally exposing themselves to solar radiation. So,
could you?
Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy. And the funny part, this is why part of the reason why I like Star Citizen's stories is because the story of Star Citizen is because the the dark humor part of me, it goes, all right, so in this universe, in this system where you have a fascist, xenophobic group that runs the system. You've got people who are trying to effectively colonize and gentrify the system against the wishes of the people around them. You have people who are literal slavers, who like traffic in people and do awful things.
Run a game.
Like these are all the factions of Pyro. Out of these factions of Pyro, probably the most moral and upright group are the people who intentionally expose themselves to solar radiation and believe that that the voice of God tells them things in a mine. Because they don't actually, like, as far as I know, they don't actually go out and try to like stab people to death for it. They just live on their planet and worship their sun god.
If you ever just chat, everybody out there on the internet, I'm just gonna say this for Brett, just for your safety. If you ever think that you're going into caves or dank dark places with fumes, and you think that maybe you're seeing things, you probably have carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yes, almost certainly.
So be aware and have carbon monoxide alarms.
Yes.
Okay. Love you. Want you to stay alive. Thanks.
Seriously, you have no idea how often carbon monoxide is a problem.
There's always some safety tip I give everybody on the show.
Yeah,
like, don't die.
Check your check your carbon monoxide alerts.
There's your reminder. Check your fire. Everybody go check your alarms.
Yes.
But do it after the show.
Yes, after the show.
Don't bake anything between now and then. It's fine.
If you're baking this while watching this after the fact, we're sorry.
Well, they can pause.
Yeah, you can pause. All right, next question comes from Fastcart, who asks, what part of the crazy grazer tastes best?
Okay, let's think about this. What's the parts of beef? We got chuck, rib, short loin, sirloin, rump, brisket, shank, short plate, flank, round, and shank again.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 shanks. I'm just trying to go. I think I got everything. Didn't I get everything? But yeah, who knows? I mean, it depends on what kind of beef. I mean, I bet a flank on one of them will be good because that's where the eggs go.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say the flank.
I bet the flank or the short plate on it. Mm-hmm. Short plate probably be, but it'd probably be real fatty too or something. There's probably be a lot of material.
People saying loin, but I don't know. Like
short or sir.
Sirloin probably be the best one. The short loin, I don't think so. Ribeye. In space,
the chuck will be interesting because the head is so like the head of it's got like the skull and everything. Mm-hmm. So I'd be interested to see what the chuck was like for sure.
The tongue is probably going to be good, but I would say only the tongue on the
lingua.
Fluffy one. Yeah,
lingua
is a collectible.
We call it lingua in Texas.
Yes, that's the name of the plate, right? Lingua.
Well, that's the name of the taco. Like if you're most of the time people are eating cow tongue, it's at a Mexican food place.
Of course.
Because it's the best.
You can have cow tongue soup.
I have had good cow tongue at a Japanese place. I will say that.
Yeah. People were weird. People were weird in my chat when we were watching that ISC, and they're like, cow tongue? I'm like, it's delicacy. People eat cow tongue all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
You think cow tongue's different? Woo, let me tell you something about what we call calf fries where I'm from.
Oh, God.
Rocky Mountain oysters, if you will. There's another name for them. I always forget.
Yeah, lingua is tongue in Spanish, yeah. But it's like lingua. Lingua is the taco. You give them tacos, so. It's chitterlings.
Well, I mean, think about language. Language. Mother tongue.
What do you think? Red? What do you think is the best part of the grazer?
I would probably say whatever makes up ribeye, but I want to mention something here. So the eggs and the meats and all this stuff. Honestly, we need like a country style outpost diner type place.
Oh, with like chicken fried.
Yes.
Chicken fried quasi steak. Oh my God.
And there's big old griddle full of quasi grazer just sitting there, and you can just pop up onto a stool, and that's what we need.
Reggie, this is why This
Yeah.
is why you get along with Paul and I.
Well, see, the thing you need, what you need is you also need to have somebody who does the most southern of southern accents, behind there, being like
me.
Yeah, it's when you walk through the door, they say,
"Welcome in.
Come on in, sit
How
a
you
while,
doing?
child." Like,
how you doing today? Would you like it fried or would you like it on the griddle today?
You know what? Screw it. Talk to have it at. This would be a nice little like callback or a nice little like a nod. Have this country fried country buffet, this country diner in Brio's Breakyard on Damer.
There you go.
Damer.
Because that's have it there, Brio's, as a little nod to Willie Wicked Wookiees series on Scooter and
my god, I saw those the last
great.
season. I was, oh my god, they're so good.
They're so good. And it's just have it call it Meemaw's Country Kitchen. You don't even have to say anything else. You just have Meemaw's Country Kitchen at Brio's Breakyard.
Oh my god, that would be so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then they need to have an in-game Waffle House too.
Yes, they need a Waffle House equivalent. Just because
no armistice.
Yes.
Is Waffle House closed? Is the Waffle House closed on your planet? Something bad's happening. Because for those of you who don't understand that joke, real quick, there's a thing called the Waffle House Index here in the United States, and it is where the United States government measures the severity of disasters like hurricanes and and tornadoes or whatever by how many Waffle Houses are closed and where. Because Waffle House is always open and ready for a fight.
They will make their employees come in a hurricane to stay
down,
open.
waffles up. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to put it. Guns down, waffles up.
The internet has made people more aware of the Waffle House, but
pecan waffles are the best thing there. If you're not nasty enough to know about the pecan waffle, you go get you the pecan waffle, a little extra crispy. If you've never been to Waffle House,
I was never exposed to the Waffle House, but there was the university I went to in Tennessee. It's a very small university in the middle of nowhere, and there's a small town just outside of it called Monteagle. And it's very big for a lot of bikers in the region. They did the big bike festival they do every year.
It's a diner kind of place, like a Greasy Spoon.
The Monteagle is the name of the town.
Oh,
yeah, and one of the only places you could go to eat food outside of the university was a Waffle House. So I spent, when I was but a young pub in the early 2000s, my first introduction to a Waffle House was showing up inebriated at about 2:00 in the morning to get some Waffle House. And there's a waitress outside smoking a cigarette, talking on the phone with her friend next to her, talking about how she's going to gut her man like a pig for dumping her over the phone at 2 a.m. while she was on shift. And they got off the phone, but we went and got food and we got out. Her friend was trying to prevent her from getting into a car and driving to her now ex-boyfriend's place to beat him up at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go beat a man up at 3:00 in the morning, it's gonna be a Waffle House. That's life.
And that is the most tame experience I've had at a Waffle House. So if you don't understand Waffle Houses are wild places, and they're good cheap food.
Good waffles.
Yeah,
it's good waffles. And the eggs. Oh my god, the burger. Everything's good at Waffle. But my favorite thing is the patty melt.
Yeah, patty melt.
I get the patty melt with a little mayonnaise on the side and hash browns scattered, smothered, covered.
Covered.
And then I have but sometimes I don't get the hash browns and I get the waffle instead, or I just get both because I'm hungry girl that day.
Okay, so Robin is in chat, who's from the Netherlands, I believe, or from Holland. I can't remember where.
Right.
Where waffles are king. You need to come to the United States and come to a Waffle House because
it'll be different than what you're used to. Sure.
It is entirely different, but I think you will appreciate how we've appropriated your culture and turned it into.
You'll appreciate breaking bread.
you'll appreciate the how we've appropriated your culture and turned it into the background of a Tekken level for some fighting game level. All right, Google Waffle House Brawl for more highbrow entertainment kits. All right, enough talking about Waffle House, but yes, we do need a Waffle House equivalent in the verse.
Yes, that would be good.
It's like dinner and a show. That's
this all started with us talking about Kazi Grazer.
Yes.
Like, what's the best part of a Kazi Grazer? And then we got into like chicken fried Kazi Grazer and greasy spoons and Waffle House.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a natural
you cook it.
progression. It's but at the end of the day, you know, how you eat your Kazi Grazer is fine, but medium rare is probably best.
I will judge you if you say well done. Never eat anything well done.
Let's all learn together. Or
right.
fried. Chicken fried's fine, but it'd be
fine.
flank. It'd be flank though if it was chicken fried or shank.
Welcome to the Kazi barrel.
Yeah, all right. What's next?
Dow the Gamer asks, you all forgot the most important customization part. Styling your pets. You're right. I did forget. Pets are 100% like, if CIG wants to make money, hand over fist, having pets that you could sell and buy, you could buy or earn. People will do stupid things to get a pet in a video game. I don't know why, but you know.
I want alien pets, but I also want like dogs.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, my offer always stands. Y'all can scan Weedle and let her annoy everybody else in the freaking game, please. With her love, like I annoy her with my love, and she annoys me with her attitude. So,
what about pets for you, Red J? What pets would you like to see?
So I'm gonna put something up in our kind of group chat here.
Sure.
But that was something that was actually a legit thing from the lore post.
Oh yeah,
it's called a Nagi.
The Nagi,
Sorry, my bad. I can't pronounce the thing, but it's adorable looking. I would love one of those.
It's like a weird lizard cat. Oh.
Yeah. It's a Gian pet, isn't it?
It looks like an anime character.
Yes.
Yes. It's a Gian pet. It's I think it's their equivalent of like a squirrel or like a.
It's a little baby cat.
Yeah.
It's a cat squirrel. My bobber. Oh.
Yeah, it was the same one where we got the Tokiai, which is where if you get the word San Tokiai from. Tokiai means things that it's like the thing that inspires terror, and so like so like San Tokiai means the ship that inspires terror. So it's kind of like how we would name a ship like the Falcon or the Hawk.
Right.
So.
Bird prey kind of stuff.
Put it up. Okay, I'll pull it up so you can see it. But
everybody look at the little baby cat thing.
I need to just put a new source in.
Again, this is probably old concept art, so they may have vastly changed this by now, depending on how old it is.
Let's do a browser source.
Caffeine Fiend visit the city in the clouds.
So I made that image back in June 2023, but then it says modified February 2023. So I think it's back from February 2023.
Let me see if I can't. Nope, that's not right.
Wow. Look at it. It's on a little thingy.
There you go, chat. You will be dominated by the
cuteness.
By the cuteness from now on.
Look how precious it is. Oh my God. Space kitty gremlin. It does look like a gremlin a little bit. It has gremlin ears. Isn't that the movie where the little thingies, like, they can't give them water?
After midnight.
Yeah,
and they even make fun of it in the second one. They're like, well, what if we're flying in a jet over time zones?
Okay. War is calling me out because I said, people do anything for pets in game, and I don't understand why. And then also Paul gives statement while standing on defensive position while he defends his faux mech with his soul on the line. I am not ever going to have the difference is I'm never going to ever have a pet that I'm going to go rip his face off, pet, because that's just, I don't like pets like that. I want pets that are cute and cuddly. But I
like both.
But I also can't install a 40 millimeter grenade launcher to a pet.
Oh no! Oh,
see?
grenade launcher.
Yes, launcher.
And
then ride into battle while firing it.
Honestly, there are some animals I would not trust with grenade. Like Weedle would destroy the world, just so she could have some more chicken.
Can I add the pets in Star Citizen? It's gonna be important that they can climb ladders.
Yes.
And they can climb over boxes and stuff like that.
Well, see, something like that would actually be kind of perfect because it probably it probably like fly around like a little sugar glider or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like bloop, 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 and it just like be up there before you're even done climbing the ladder. It'd be like looking down at you, just like its little face like over the edge when you're coming up. How cute would that be? Oh my god.
I'd also be okay with pets being something you can transport in like a little pet carrier or something like that, and you can let them out. So you can like put them in a little box and be like, you can carry them around, and
right.
And that way they don't like die if you get your oxygen evacuated, and then maybe like you can only put them in your like homestead or your like apartment or something like that. So, all right. Next question, speaking of mechs, comes from Fastcart, who asks, what are your guesses on the price of the ATLS Warbond in USD? So the question is, we talked a little bit about it. There's a power loader that was released recently to Star Citizen called the Argo ATLS or Argo Atlas, which basically lets you move boxes with, it's basically a walking powered armor with exposed to the elements with a tractor beam attachment that you can use. It's very good, but it's very small. It's tall, but like you stand at maybe 8 feet, maybe 10 feet tall total.
Yeah.
So you don't get that much.
It's like the Miata of, mechs. Just a little thing, but it's cute. And you have the right hair in it. You look real good.
What do you think, Red J? What do you think? What's your price tag for that? Do you think?
I think 35 USD Warbond, 40 USD credit would be where I was yesterday when I saw it, and tested it. But some people have been trying to convince me that it's going to be like 30 Warbond, 35 credit. I think it's going to be sitting in there, and then whatever they choose, there'll be like a 4-pack, because we saw that with the Furies, like 4-packs and such. And then it'll come with 4 different paints, probably for like 100 USD tops, Warbond.
Right.
I think that's where they're going to make them, where they're really going to have the quote savings, end quote, is probably going to be in multi-pack.
They have 6, apparently they have 6 skins for it. And because they just went all in on the skins, I think we're probably not going to, I think you're right. And like probably that range, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a $25 for Warbond, $30 for non, and then a pack that's like $50 that has all of the skins, with each skin being like $5. Normally.
Yeah, that would be my range. I would say about anywhere from about 25 to 55, even 60.
Yeah,
depending on.
Because the Pulse is very similar in terms of size and functionality, and the Pulse is like $25. So Warbond, so. Here's some hopium, but I truly hope the ATLS will be reputation locked with Kovalex. I don't think it'll be reputation locked, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's like better upgrades you can get for it from Kovalex or Kovalex.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely going to be you purchase it. There's no way they make that many skins, and be like not selling it for money. Got 2 more questions.
Yay.
Gin and Tonic asks, on the nose art thing, let people submit their custom nose art, charge them for the privilege to pay for the human review, and approve that would be required. Don't you think that'd be a viable income stream? Example of my nose art for the Carrack, and I'll pull this up. What do you think?
just honestly think that CIG will always want to be in control of the aesthetic in their game.
I would post that for everyone to see, but I would get demonetized instantly by posting that. It is I'll post it for everybody else so you can see the.
It's spicy. Is
it
it
is
spicy?
very
Is it
spicy.
spicy enough for YouTube and everything?
Like
Spicy enough?
No, it is far too spicy for YouTube.
Well, that's what I mean. It's too spicy for the platforms.
Oh yes.
So probably like medium or mild spicy for the rest of us in real life.
Oh yeah. It's spicy for the
okay. So
Yeah, first of all, very good taste. But
wait, where is it? Where did you post it?
I posted in the
in our chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boy,
that
they would one that's artwork, one that's art. The other thing is too is original art. Like that's what a lot of people would. That is not like you could probably get permission and stuff, but they'd have to make their own art. Yeah, that's a little too. That's cute, but yeah, that's just a little too sexy for the verse, I think.
I think CIG will definitely need to kind of manage those sorts of things. I think they could do contests.
Oh, it's original? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you just like, but I meant like the drawing of the woman. It looks like a Gil Elfgren print. Almost. Too modern.
Selling skins is was not an insignificant source of income for games like War Thunder, and they allow third-party skins. Yeah, but there's definitely some legal issues is the big thing. It's like, because what's going to happen is if you allowed players to make their own skins, they would instantly make a skin for the Fury that is just the TIE Fighter. And logos and all, and a skin for the Scorpius, which is just the X-Wing, logos and all. And that would end up being incredibly dangerous for them. Like mods is fine. Mods are fine. But And those are most were worse than in World War II, but this isn't a situation of World War II, a bunch of dudes in the 40s who were, very, 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 very excited, let's just say, or bricked up, bricked up and stuck in the middle of nowhere for 2 years.
If you don't know what it means, Google it.
Yeah.
And they were also like, it was a morale builder.
Yeah.
Like, let them do this because they're probably not going to go home someday.
Yeah, exactly. I do think that
I like how Jane talks like she's a doctor. She's a doctor, not a stripper.
She's just paying her way through medical school. That's all.
She's 2 buttons away, right over the center of where. She's 2 buttons away from maybe pulling something together there. But yeah,
if she's a doctor, it's not a very sanitary office. I'll tell you that.
I at first, like the thing is that what Jin is saying is something I thought would be probably a good idea. But the longer we've been in seeing Star Citizen, I think it's not. I do not believe it is it is a good idea for Star Citizen in the long term. I think the better idea would be something like decals that maybe players could submit, and then CIG would like put in the game.
Right.
But like there's a process for it, and then that put in the game would be everyone can get access to it. So. She's a doctor with a pole in her office. All right. Last question is from Fastcart, so you know it's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, of course.
How does the panel feel about the website changes thus far?
Oh, are there a bunch of website changes?
Look at the website right now. If you haven't seen it, go to robertspacindustries.com.
Buster reacts to this website. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Scroll down.
Okay. I like these little buttons. Like it's essentially the same. Okay, we get like the title bumper, and it changes, but it's a little more visual. Like you could click on them a bit more obviously, so that's good. Okay, Squadron 42, Star Citizen, our games right up front and center. Good. I'm not logged in, so it's probably why it's right there. Expand your fleet. Yeah, this is a much more this is a much more user-friendly website. Like, I feel like to know the website, you kind of had to be around for a minute, just tool around in it. But this is like a little bit better for the newcomer.
The one thing I will say is, if you look at it, the front and center, the first thing you see is CitizenCon 2954 digital goodies pack available now. It just like buy money, give us money. Like,
Hey,
I
look,
don't like
that's a fact to CIG at this point. Like, I know, I agree with you, Paul. But I like getting into that discussion. It always leaves us all in tears every time.
Yeah.
So
I would say
I think it's a more visually sharp and pleasing website. It looks a lot better. It looks like a freaking games website. It doesn't look like a side project website anymore. Not that I'm being rude, but it's so much cleaner. It's I'll say it. I hate to do this because I hate saying it about inanimate objects because I think it's dumb sometimes, but it's sexier.
Yeah. It's a lot more modern, I would say. The only suggestion I would say is
it's a lot more welcoming to the new player, for sure.
I would always suggest the CIG, instead of having like whatever the latest one is, the first one, always have the first thing that plays be the latest update.
Yeah.
So like, right. Because the second update, the thing it plays is the Alpha 3.24 Cargo Empires. That should be the first one, even if there's newer ones that come out. That should always be the first one, because the first thing that people should see is this is a video game and this is the latest update. So people know that's the latest update. So
Red J, did you see the website? What do you think?
Yeah, so I've seen it a few times now. It's only last week or something it came out or something.
Very
golly.
recently,
yeah. One of the things I'm doing while we were talking is I put it up on my phone because it's the first time I'm looking on my phone.
Oh,
that's a good point.
Good idea. That's the real test. Look at you.
Yeah, it looks
You're a
pretty good on the
genius,
phone.
Norton. Oh, that's so much. Oh God, are you kidding me? Do they have a mobile site that doesn't always give me the, do you want to join the verse? Pop up. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Welcome to the website.
That, and I'm always scared whenever they fiddle with the website, because I'm like, I don't want them to mess too much with the store and take away a feature, or the CCU game mess with it or something. But CIG, if you ever watch this, please leave extras and all in the store. Do not fiddle with the back, with like the stuff the actual tools that we need to see everything. That's all I beg of you. But yeah, this looks great on the mobile.
This is fantastic. This is literally the best website's ever been on mobile. Like, I feel like I actually want to use. I hate using the website on mobile. It's like such a pain in the ass.
It would crash my phone back just a few years ago.
I never had it. I never. But no, it never has crashed my phone. But it's just annoying because it's just the website and it's crushed all in. But this is like a lot more intentional and.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Robin, it kept my account. I just closed the whole thing, came back, and it remembered it was me. If that helps you at all.
Oh, what? It remembered you on the phone? Oh, what? What I hate is when I change like Wi-Fi and it changes, and it's like, can you not see that it's the same freaking device? It may not be on the same network, but it's the same device.
Yeah, I was just using Chrome on the iPhone.
I'm gonna have to test that later and like sign in at home and then like go to my next door neighbor's house and sign. Like, I steal his Wi-Fi all the time when I need it. And go over. He doesn't use it. He goes to the ranch and shoots pigs. So I'll have to go over to his place or something later and then try to like interact with the site again and see if it prompts me to re-sign in. That would be nice to know. But yeah, it's a lot more visually pleasing overall, web and mobile.
Yeah, it looks a lot better, I think, in general.
Yeah, and it's simple. It's like simple too. I like the simplicity of it. While it's also very complicated, it's got a lot going on, but it's the line, like all the design, the aesthetic of it is really nice.
Yeah,
it really highlights the beauty of the game, which is important.
My only notes again comes from the fact that CIG needs to make sure that they always are highlighting that it's a video game and that there are updates to the game, because that'll let people go, oh, this is a game, and they're updated. They have updates. Oh, then they're doing a sale. Oh, this is a ship that's coming out. Oh, this is the event that's coming out. Oh, this is another event.
According to some YouTube thumbnails, it it's real life.
It's real
and it's
life.
like a fighter pilot from like somewhere else in the world,
because they steal Star Citizen's art for every YouTube thumbnail about military technology that exists.
It's ridiculous. It's but it's cool. Like, I would actually take it as a compliment if I was over there. I'd be like, oh, that's actually cool that like these people always put our shit in, because it's like, oh, this is actually the most believable look of like what future humanity's vehicles look like.
Yeah. What is the redacted in the goodies pack? We don't know. The redacted is something they'll show off at CitizenCon.
Yeah, they always do that kind of thing. They always have stuff they're gonna wait till CitizenCon to let you know about.
I think it's like they say that like 2 of them.
I bet it's Pico neck tattoos.
Yeah.
It's vouchers to go to the local tattoo shop, or they'll hire a tattoo.
Oh yeah.
That is something I would do if I was CIG. Like, the first person that like gets like a neck tattoo of Pico, I would be like, oh my God, you get like some stuff.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's the last question. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this, hit that follow button here on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, and hit the like button if you're watching this after the fact as well, or during the fact. It's always good. And comment down below what your thoughts are. Of course, check out Buster Destroyer and Buster the Destroyer at all of her social medias. And make sure you check out Red J on all of their social medias, especially if you like Star Citizen, like
fashion
and fashion. And gosh, what was the other ones? I was going to say lore and like in-depth statistics and looks at different ships. They got you covered. So definitely check them out. Thank you for watching, and like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black.
But we'd also like to see you in cream sometimes, because that's a really nice color.
That's a good one too, yeah.
Yeah.